form really immaculate micro.
I agree, Andre, and we can see that the player we were just talking about has spawned in the bottom left-hand corner of Daybreak. He is the yellow Protoss. He is representing Team Root. On your screen, he's blue. It is TT1. And TT1's opponent up in the top right-hand corner of Daybreak. The red Zerg player Complexity, Goswser. Nice. All right, funny story time.
Go ahead.
So as you may or may not know, or as you do know, you know, but the rest of you guys may not know, Rossi just got back from casting WCS Ukraine and WCS Russia.
Did a great job.
The winner of WCS Ukraine was Bly. He beat White Rock in the finals. And on Cloud Kingdom, Bly did a very funny build. He went 14 pool, 16 gas. Got Zergling speed, pulled things off gas, and then just made 50 speedlings and went all in. And that killed White Rock because it was bizarre.
Yeah.
Beyond reason.
That's insane.
And Kevin was like, what the hell is this build? And so Kevin was talking to another one of the players there, Ukraine Star, a Zerg player. And Ukraine Star was like, it's good build. You see, you have so many Zergling that cannot defend, even a full Voloff. Only way for defense is double Voloff with double forge, double gateway, double cannon. That's what he said. So
sick.
14 pool, 16 gas, speedling only, 50 speedlings, all in. And apparently the only way to defend it is with a double wall. That's Kevin's story. I just stole it. Sorry, Kev.
That's the sickest defense ever. It's like, oh, I know exactly what you're doing. let me get another layer of forged gateways and cybernetics.
If you're playing with the metagame, quote unquote, you just don't have enough. You don't have enough units. And even if you have a cannon there, the Lings will kill the gateway or the forge or both before they all die. There's just so many Zerglings.
That's crazy. And you know, it's really hard to actually get indication. The best way to actually know that something like that is capable is to scout the third base. Then you just know that your opponent has the ability to do that.
But he doesn't even take his natural on it.
Oh, really?
Doesn't even take his natural. It's off of one base.
Is that real life?
Yes.
That is the sickest play ever.
I know. I know.
Oh my God.
But I mean,
I'm going to steal that.
Of course, you're right. The answer to something like that is absolutely scouting. But the next issue is how the hell do you scout something when there's speedlings out on the map? It's very difficult.
Yeah. Well, that is not something that we have right now. It is, of course, the regular, I would say, Stefano style, or soon-to-be Stefano style. You can already see a very fast expansion, and not yet the third base going to be claimed. A little bit interesting that he hasn't sent out a drone yet.
Yeah, it's actually a late third. But what we're seeing these days, more and more, are Zerg players using all of their larvae on drones, getting all of their queens out, and then taking that third around 5 minutes and 15 seconds.
What do you prefer?
30 seconds. I still prefer the pseudo Stefano style, where you get the third base as fast as possible, which is between 350 and 415. But I don't think that there's really a whole lot lost in doing it this way. So we'll see. The real disadvantage of this style is your creep spread at the third is so delayed, which makes a gateway push on that third much more dangerous than when you get that third base very early.
And I would say the big advantage to this is your opponent thinks that you have the capabilities to do some sort of two-base all-in. You don't see the third base for that long, and you're like, oh, wow, well, there could be some sort of Roach all-in, Zergling all-in, whatever it might be. There could be 50 Zerglings coming.
We are going to see that third base going down, but great scouting by TT1. He will spot it, and upon seeing that, we'll say, okay, I don't have to worry about 48 speedlings crashing into my natural.
He only had one sentry, too.
It would have killed him.
It would have killed him.
The only adequate defense is double gateway,
he doesn't have double gate, double cybernetics core, double forge either.
And double cannon.
And double cannon.
And double zealot.
And double zealot. Double probes.
And double probes.
And double probes. Throwing it out there.
Goswser double gas on about 48 supply is going to allow him to continue down this quote-unquote Stefano-style path that we're so accustomed to seeing. Now, he hasn't dropped that Roach Warren. He also hasn't dropped any Evo Chambers. Wow, very fast. Fourth hatchery. This makes me feel like he's going to be playing a Zergling-centric style, and as soon as I say it, he drops the Roach Warren. Damn it, Goswser.
Well, he's still, well, he has the capabilities. This is a really fast fourth base, but I think it's in reply to, you know, just how saturated he's become at his natural. He's actually oversaturated by quite a bit. Looks like never mind, just one drone oversaturated, but now additional ones. He needs to actually transfer them down. Just to let you know, with 16 drones on Mineral Alliance, you are mining at 40 minerals per minute for every drone. For every one after that, you're only mining 20, and then after 24 drones, you're mining 0 more. So you really have to make sure that the adequate number of drones are on each particular expansion.
So very true, as StarCraft is definitely a game of small advantages, and one of the best ways and simplest ways and easiest ways to obtain a small advantage is by making sure that you're mining efficiently. Third base down for TT1. That is an incredibly aggressive third base before even his first Immortal pops out.
Yep.
But I don't really think there's a whole lot that Goswser can do about it. Now, I like that we're seeing the carapace upgrade out of our Zerg player.
Yeah, really?
It's going to give him some fighting strength with his Zerglings against things like Zealots, at least until Zealots have +2, which has already begun. Holy cow, that's great upgrades from TT1 as well.
TT1 loves to do this style where you get just super fast upgrades. You play towards that mid-game stage. I asked you really because it's very stylistic. I've seen a lot of people go for, you know, melee or missile attacks over Carapace, but, you know, you raise a good point. Carapace does help quite a bit, but you know, how does it actually fit into these builds? Because will Carapace actually be that useful?
Well, as it happens, it's only going to be relevant for a very short amount of time, because once +2 finishes, we have the same situation where Zealots will kill Zerglings in 2 hits versus killing them in 3 when they're on even upgrades. Fourth base is already down for Goswser. This is some of the greediest Zerg play I've seen. He's only working on 66 drones, as some Speedlings will attempt to take a shot at this third, but with his army there, TT1 is able to scare them away. Very important defense there. Infestation Pit finishing up. We might still, actually, there's the melee upgrade, so we are still going to see a Zergling-centric style out of Goswser. It's going to be Zergling Infestor.
I love Zergling-centric styles. I think it is the way to actually do it, because now all of a sudden you're asking yourself, where is all that gas going to? It could be mutas, it could be infestors, it could be roaches for all you know. But the main thing is it makes the Protoss guess, and based on the decision that the Zerg makes, they have to actually kind of allocate their minerals and their gas right with the army composition. They have to get the best army composition, because you're not going to go mass stalkers against Zergling Infestor.
No.
You're just not going to do that. But you might do that in the beginning against mutas.
More Lings are coming, as well as some of those infestors that you were talking about. The reason that we saw that Roachworn, guys, just in case anyone was curious, was purely for defensive purposes. What if QXE had done a 4 or 5 or 6 gate? In that case, you're not going to be able to defend with pure Zergling. You have to have something that can shoot over force field, something with a little bit more meat to it. That's why we saw that Roachworn. Spire and Hive also starting up at the exact same time. Tells us that we're going to see some Broodlords.
Oh.
Whoa, very dangerous timing from TT1 as he catches all these Zerglings, losing nothing. Nothing lost there for TT1. Kills every single Zergling. Check out the resources lost tab. Brutal.
37 units lost. You know, Goswser was trying to track down all that one Warp Prism, but instead went up the ramp, and to his dismay, actually lost so many Zerglings from that position. Infestor is going to be taken out. That was the one that had a little bit of energy left, but this fourth base gets taken out. TT1 just monstrously behind because of that, because that's a ton of investment going into that expansion.
Now, Goswser has managed to get enough Roachling that I think TT1's going to have to be very careful about how he engages, but this is still a terrifying army.
3 Infestors actually got taken out at the fourth base. They just popped. So unfortunate for Goswser.
Oh my gosh. Actually, I think I think you're right, TT1. I think Goswser might be dead. 12 more roaches on the way, but there are so many Immortals, so much force field that I'm not sure that it's going to matter. There are some excellent force fields by TT1, sectioning off basically the majority of Goswser's army, and he's just going to cherry pick what's on the outside. More force fields going down. I'm still waiting for a Protoss player to write GG in force fields.
So BM.
One day it'll happen.
I'll do that too. Anyway, just surging on in. The third base is pretty much dead. There's no way to actually defend this. Goswser will have to tap out pretty soon. And I just want you guys to know they're very good friends. They were actually having some, you know, little banter in the beginning, but they I'm sure practice together a lot. And I'm sure TT1 didn't mean anything by that.
That I think you were dead remark was not a cruncher smiley face, for instance.
Yeah.
By comparison, big offensive blink up on top of those roaches. TT1's going to lose some units as a result of that, but he's not going to care. He is so much further ahead than Goswser could ever hope to be right now. 150 supply against just 110. Finally, Goswser's going to send some units out, I guess in preparation for a flank or something, but what does it matter? It's a 2-base Zerg against a 3-base Protoss, and Andre, it doesn't take a genius to tell you that is not a good position for the Zerg player.
You mean 3 is greater than 2?
3 is greater
than 2.
Last time I checked. If I hold up 3 fingers on one hand, 2 on the other, the one with 3 fingers is more fingers.
Do you know the mathematical proof to say that 1 equals 2? And you could basically just say 1 equals 3 or 2 equals 3. Do you know that?
Nope.
Probably not.
Nope,
I'll
I
show
don't.
you
It
later.
sounds way too smart for me. As TT1 is making his final push, Goswser is just going to disengage one last time, but a big offensive blink. Immortals are so far behind, but who cares? This is, how many blink stalkers is this, Andre? It's 35 blink stalkers. And 35 blink stalkers is more than
Does
2.
an Idra GG and leaves the game. GG TT1. He is going to retain.
Sad day for Goswser,
Yes.
as he is knocked off in convincing fashion. TT1 has won 150 bucks and stands in a position to win more. His next opponent will be another complexity player.
Ooh.
It's going to be Trimaster, a little PVT action.
I'm really looking forward to this. Trimaster is actually one of my favorite Terrans inside the North American scene. I really, really think he's going to do well. We'll see against Payantoya.
We will see, folks. But before we do go about all that seeing business, we have to see about a commercial. Stick around. More StarCraft 2 from the North American Star League and more on the quest for when we return.